leaning on the school gate of St. Monica High School, Donmadu. Like a prisoner behind bars. George Bankole stared into space, confused about life, uncertain about the next move. At 49, George was stuck. Unmarried. Struggling. A mechanical engineering graduate turned school gateman. Life had handed him nothing but hardship, and yet George carried the weight of his aging parents and the family name, while his two younger brothers, Tund and Bidemi, lived in luxury and refused to help. They believed George, being the eldest, should naturally do better. To them, helping him meant encouraging laziness. George was the first child of Mr. and Mrs. Bankole Badmus. The parents were pensioners who had spent their entire lives working with the Nigerian Railway Corporation in the north. Tund, the second son, was a regional manager at a new generation bank in Abuja. Successful, sharp, but always too busy for family. His world was money and business talks at the bar. Bidemi, the last born, was a successful building contractor. Married to Shade, and a father of 3. But even his world was about to shake. One morning, Shade stepped out to drop the kids at school. On her way back, she accidentally hit a young lady's car while trying to avoid a bike man. Shade, graceful and polite, rushed out to apologize. She offered to pay for the damages, but the lady wasn't having it. She was out for drama. As a crowd gathered, the lady made a call. "Come now, this woman just hit my car." 30 minutes later, her man arrived. And to everyone's shock, it was Bidemi, Shade's husband. Her sugar daddy. Shade stood speechless. So did Bidemi. The scene exploded when the girl turned to him and whined, "Baby, look at what this stupid woman did to my car." Shade, calm no more, slapped the girl and collected her car keys. The mistress vanished on a bike, and Bidemi. He was already sweating like a Christmas goat, back into Donmadu. George still battled with shame and hopelessness. Despite his first-class degree in engineering, he had nothing. No wife. No job. No peace. Even his friends, aware of his brother's influence, refused to help. They assumed George was too proud to ask his siblings for help. But George was simply tired. One night, George picked up his phone. He called Toyin Marcus, an old university friend and now a practicing doctor. "Toyin," he said, "I need your help. But it's complicated." George laid out his plan. Not to sell the family house. Not to leave town. But something darker. George and Toyin staged a crisis. One day, while sitting with his aged parents, George fell from the cushion, yelling, "I'm dying. Take me to Dominica Hospital." Neighbors rushed him to the hospital. Dr. Toyin, playing along, declared George needed a heart surgery. Urgently. Cost, 10 million naira. Tund and Bidemi, shaken by the news, pooled the money. They couldn't be seen as heartless. Not when their brother was dying. The money was transferred. 2 days after the fake surgery, George was declared dead. He was moved to the mortuary. Anytime the family wanted to see the body, excuses were made. Burial preparations began. Canopies. The priest. Food. Guests, but on the way to the burial, the ambulance was attacked. Hooded men stopped the vehicle, released the driver, and set the ambulance on fire. With the body inside, news reached the family: George's body burned. Nothing left to bury. Tears flowed. Hearts shattered. The burial turned into mourning, far away, in another country. George smiled for the first time in years. He had started a new life. Married to a white woman. Father of 2. Free at last, but peace has a price. 5 years later, Toyin called. George, he said, you need to hear this. Your father is sick. Your mother too. There's no one to care for them. Tund lost his job. His wife left with everything. He's homeless and broken, bid Emmy. He's in jail. For beating his wife to death. Shadi is gone. The children. Scattered, and back here, George's wife wants to visit Africa. She wants the kids to know their roots. George sat down, heart pounding. What should George do now? Go back and face the mess he left behind, tell his wife the truth? That he faked his own death, or keep running and hope the past never catches up? But what if it was for a time like this, that George had to return? Sometimes, the life we escape finds a way to chase us down. This is the story of George Bankole.